I think the hardest part of it looking back, and I think both BBVA and Simple did it relatively well. I mean, now looking back on it, I'm like, there was definitely a few missteps that we did, which I wish we had. I know exactly how I would do things differently, but that's hindsight is 2020, as they say, right? But overall, I think BBVA and Simple did it relatively well until the pandemic, and then the pandemic screwed everything. But the thing that I think surprised me the most, and remember, I was familiar with large banks and organizations. I'd consulted for them many times, right? But it's different when you're not just delivering a set of recommendations and being like, CEO, call me if you need anything more, right? When you actually have to make those recommendations and that plan into reality, you realize that this is true of all large organizations, that even when the spirit is willing, the flesh is weak. But it is especially true of large banks, I feel like, and large FIs in general, is that there isn't any sense of urgency. There never is. And so for you, you're like, listen, I might have whatever, 10 million in revenue, and I need to get to 50 million in revenue. And that's huge for you. And for a startup in the world, like going from like 10 million to 50 million in revenue, that's like going from Series B to like a Series, I don't know, DE, right? That's where your valuation could go north of $1 billion, right? You could become those fabled unicorns. Definitely in 21, maybe not today, but whatever, right? But in a large organization, it's like, we made 300 million in profits last quarter. Your 50 million in revenue without profits is like, you're far down my list of priorities. And in fact, for anybody in the large organization, it is much more profitable to slightly tune the existing business, right? Like if you can turn one of the dials on the existing business slightly up and your 300 million of profit goes up by 10% or even 5%, that's way more in profit and direct impact than whatever any internal startup can deliver in its first decade, probably, right?